Good afternoon, everybody. It is Wednesday, March 15th, the Ides of March, 2 days before St. Patrick's Day. And so I hope that people are preparing their green outfits and whatnot to celebrate that lovely Irish holiday. We are going to talk to everybody today about a few reminders that are coming up in our community. First and foremost, we want to welcome so many visitors here to Pagosa Springs who have chosen to come to our community and spend their spring break here. Next week, certainly Pagosa goes on spring break, but we want to really thank everybody who has joined us here in our community. We know that you have a lot of places that you could go and spend your time and be with your family, and we're honored that you have come to our community to spend it with us. As I mentioned, Pagosa goes on spring break next week. And so regardless of that fact, we are holding our newcomer meet and greet next week, March 23rd from 5 to 7 here at the Visitor Center. Now, what does that mean? I'm a newcomer. Well, we're pretty general and broad with that. You could be here years and feel like you haven't really gotten yourself introduced into the community. Maybe you live here part-time and you say, I would like to learn more about it. I'd like to meet some new people. I'd like to see what other industries and services are here. Please come. The event is free. We had a great attendance our last quarter, so we're hoping that it will be the same. Again, 5 to 7 here at the Visitor Center, right next to the Springs Resort. And we'll have appetizers and beverages. Some of our welcome service businesses will be in attendance, as well as our nonprofits. And we're looking forward to meeting you and indoctrinating you even more into the community. With the spring break schedule, that also means that we've moved our business after hours to Wednesday, March 29th. And we'll be celebrating this time at the Emerald Fox, which is a fantastic retail store. Right in the TBK and Natural Grocers Plaza, right next to Natural Grocers. And they'll be sharing that event with Sierra Paint Protection and Tint. And Bianca over there she's just ready to have a great event. So mark down on your calendars, March 29th from 5 until 7 at the Emerald Fox. You need to come over and see some of the new things she has, and she always has a fabulous sale going on. So let's join her for that event. The other thing is if you're a nonprofit industry, I think today's the last day that you can enter in to be included or considered to be included in the 19th Hole Concert Series. And you would get that information from the Southwest Community Foundation's website. And that is swcommunityfoundation.org. Nonprofit agencies are encouraged to apply. And then there will be 5 nonprofits that are chosen for the concerts in June. So remember, there is a deadline for that. So get in that application today. The other thing that is being hosted by the Community Foundation is their board training, which will be held here in Pagosa Springs, which is an added benefit. You don't have to go to Durango. It's not virtual. You'll have that actual, kind of in-face communication. They are encouraging board members and the executive director, or a board member and an executive director, to attend. The price is phenomenal for 3 sessions held once a week. And for both people, the total cost is only $60. If your organization has new board members or an executive director, or you're kind of in that mode where it's like, should I go? We're looking to do a retreat. We're looking to do some formation. You might want to think of investing and going to that event. So you can get those applications at the Southwest Community Foundation. So don't forget about that. This evening, there is going to be a broadband update over at the Ross Aragon Community Center. That will be held from 5:30 to 7, and it'll be, as far as we know, in the West Conference Room. There's a lot of people that are asking what's happening about broadband, either in my area or as a business in the downtown area, west side, wherever you may be. And there will be people there to hopefully answer your questions. A lot of people are like, I live in a certain area. Will I ever get broadband? And sometimes the answer is just simply no, because of the terrain of where you live. But maybe you just need to hear that answer. But we've got some very exciting and forward moving projects in the region. And certainly the broadband office would like to share that with you. So please join them this evening, 5:30 to 7 at the Ross Aragon Community Center. Now, there's also going to be a nonprofit networking event for executive directors and board members held by the Community Development Corporation on, March 29th. That's at Wednesday. It's going to be in the morning from 9 until noon. They're going to be talking about a lot of different components, strengths, challenges, how we can better collaborate, kind of even getting prepared for Rural Philanthropy Days, maybe. It is free, and so we'll be sharing some more information about that event. But again, mark your calendars, 9 to noon for the nonprofit agencies. Well, and we've, you've asked, and hopefully we're responding to you about some classes, some educational classes. We are certainly right now working with Fort Lewis College, the SBDC, to provide some QuickBooks classes. We've mentioned that before. If you're seeing this and you are interested in a QuickBooks class, please contact us here at the Chamber. We'll be looking at 2 different classes, an introductory QuickBooks class and also a one-on-one intermediate class. That's been very successful in the past, where with an expert, you can kind of bring in some problems that you have that's unique to your business and get some assistance. And then the introductory class is a multi-hour, and it's just phenomenal. So we're trying to make sure we have enough for both sessions. So if you see this information and you are interested, please contact us here at the Chamber, and we'll be making a list and letting you know when those classes will be. In addition, one of the other things that we've really been hearing about is Facebook. There's been changes, there's new business pages, and we're really excited that our former communications director, Hillary Strong, will be doing a free virtual training on both Facebook, the new format for the Facebook business page, why do you need one, and the new updates that you should be complying with. That's going to be held April 13th, again, virtually from noon until 1. And then the other class will be held on April 20th in the evening from 6 to 7. And we're going to be talking about that organic reach and social media trends. Again, huge. We're just getting so many comments about, I don't know what's new and I don't know how to handle it anymore. What's the easiest way? And, Hillary's going to be there to give you some tips on getting more reach for your content. She's great at it, and we're excited. We'll be posting that. You are going to need to register for the class. Once you've registered, we will send you a link to the virtual meeting. So stay tuned for that. That will be coming up, and you'll be able to get that on our calendar. And the last reminder I have, and we will be having San Juan Basin Health with us in the near future, but it is to fill out that survey for the San Juan Basin Community Health Community Assessment Survey. As everybody knows, our health departments are splitting, La Plata, Archuleta County. So this survey will not only help the region and the 2 counties, but our task force focus on what we have heard is important to our community. And it is important. So be a part of that conversation and take a few minutes and fill out the survey. We'll be talking more about that with Megan Wolf from San Juan Basin Health in the upcoming weeks. That survey will be due April 7th. Now, another super important topic of conversation here is workforce. And it's also education, and it's vocational training, which is now considered career and technical education. And I don't think a lot of people really know how much effort is being poured into this whole dynamics. And so with us today, I'm so happy to have with us Jessica Morrison, who is the executive director for the Southwest Colorado Educational Collaborative. Now, Jess, that's a mouthful. I think for those of us in the industry, we call you the collaborative. So that's what I'm going to refer to you as. But, you took this notion of industry partners and education and the need for these two, but there are more components, to say, okay, we need to talk. And you have started this from nothing, basically, and created this amazing organization. So can you tell us a little bit about really what is the collaborative?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mary Jo, for having me on. We're really excited to be here to talk about the work. So the collaborative, we call ourselves that as well, started about 2.5 years ago with 5 school districts, Pagosa Springs being one, Archuleta, Archuleta, Ignacio, Bayfield, Durango, and Silverton, and our 2 higher ed partners, Pueblo Community College and Fort Lewis College, and industry, 2 sector industries, building trades. Troy Dyer from Veritas Fine Homes sits on our board, and environmental. And they got together, these leaders, and said, hey, we need to actually start collaborating and working together to provide career and college pathways and career connected learning opportunities to students in our region. And so they were awarded a $3.6 million grant in order to try on this innovative idea. And they formed a nonprofit organization, the Collaborative, to really support what is a community-driven process to build out career and college pathways and share resources across our entire region. And so that grant sunsetted about 3 months ago. But in the meantime, what we've been able to do is actually expand to 9 rural school districts. So we also work with Mincus, Montezuma Cortez, Dolores, and Dove Creek. We added in 3 additional career and college pathways: health sciences, education, hospitality, tourism. And we are pretty much building a collaborative across the Southwest that will connect students to industry, right? So allowing a student, even in middle school, to start exploring what are their interests, how do they relate to careers, aligning K-12 courses so that students can engage in those career and college pathways regardless of what zip code they live in, so they have access to all the same opportunities. And then also start engaging with industry so that they can go on job shadows, internships, pre-apprenticeships, apprenticeships, as well as summer employment. All with this idea that all of our students deserve equitable access across our region. And we know in this area that we all need to be able to support each other in a collaborative way. We're not like the Front Range, and so we're figuring it out down here. And because of the success, we've brought in an additional $5 million to the region to continue to build out this work. So we're really excited.
So, Jess, what happens if someone here in Archuleta County, one of our businesses, is like, I had no idea that this existed, and I would love an intern, or I would love to work with the schools or with you. How would they go about doing that? Do they call me? Do they call the schools? Do they call you? What's kind of the process if someone wants to become a better partner or more engaged?
Yeah, I love that question. So the first thing is that you can definitely go to our website. There's a lot of contact information there and an industry interest form. And thank you. That website's put up there. We have career and college. We have career and college coordinators that work directly within our schools with teachers and counselors to help connect students to industry and courses. So you can absolutely reach out to Pagosa Springs High School or Samuel Mountain School to see if there is a connection there as well. Where our process is very interesting because the collaborative facilitates all of the superintendents across the region to come together and really drive this process. And so our K-12 and higher ed partners are very, very involved in making the decisions on how we move forward, which is exciting. A couple of two specific pieces that industry can also be engaged in is that we did a design session series called Building Our Shared Future over the course of the fall, where we were bringing communities from across the region together to help us design the process of the career and college pathways. We are having our final outward-facing event on May 12th. Mary Jo, I know you're going to put that invitation in all of your publications. Yep. So that May 12th event is going to be a celebration and unveiling of all 5 of those pathways and how to be able to access additional opportunities, specifically with industry. We're going to have an industry catered breakfast just for industry to learn more about the collaborative. So we would love to see industry come and attend that event. And then there's all of these additional pieces that are going to be coming out. Right now, the collaborative is in the process of building a region-wide work-based learning database system. And that is going to connect all of K-12, higher ed, and industry leaders into one location with this database, one-stop shop, so that industry can say, I need an intern, and we have a K-12 student in Ignacio say, I am ready to come to work. So that's really exciting.
It is. You know, you're talking about these industry partners and these next steps. And, you know, I think it's a perfect segue. The Chamber of Commerce was lucky enough to receive a grant to help this process forward. And that is connecting industry partners with education. And how do we overcome some of the barriers? Why can't we find workforce? Is it, you know, so often we hear it's housing or it's this. What are some of those barriers? But what is exciting is instead of the chamber duplicating the efforts that the Southwest, that the collaborative has already done leaps and bounds of work on, we have subcontracted with you to take on what we call this convener position. So we are interviewing for it. And how about you just tell us a little bit more of this position and what we expect in the next, well, 1 to 3 years?
Yeah, it really is exciting, Mary Jo, to be able to collaborate with Pagosa Springs Chamber on this sector convener. So the sector convener Next Gen Partnership is the model, and this individual will come in and identify key industry sectors in our region and bring those industry leaders within that sector together to discuss current challenges and potential solutions that is happening within their industry. So there is that education space, right? We have heard from industry that, hey, we need qualified employees to be able to engage in our work. The building trade sector is screaming for that right now. And so that would be one aspect, but then this sector partnership could also be where industry is able to talk about other challenging issues that they are having across their region. So that education is one piece, but may not just be all of it. The sector convener is then going to be able to facilitate those conversations and provide possible solutions as a collective voice, which is fantastic across the state. So that is one part of the sector convener role. The other part is the sector convener is going to be our one-stop shop. And so they will be managing that work-based learning database system. They are going to be connecting specifically with industry and identify if there are opportunities in education that students want to engage with industry, identifying industry that are also interested. And, one of the things we hear from industry all the time is, God, we would love to hold internships. We would love to have students. But you know what? Each school district has its own different process. And I'm an industry leader and I actually need to make money in my industry, right? Like that's why they're there. And so this sector convener is also going to be able to streamline that process to make it easier for industry.
Right.
Another piece that we use industry leaders for that are of interest is that the collaborative helps support with the career and college pathways. We purchase equipment that is identified by industry that students should be able to train on.
Wow.
So an example of that would be in our building and trades career and college pathway. There's a machining and fabrication mobile learning lab that has 3 pieces of industry grade equipment that industry leaders in building trades identified that if students were able to train on that equipment, learn the skills, show their aptitude in that, they would be of a higher quality to be able to go out and earn it or obtain a job in the field, in the industry. So we work with the teachers in the school districts to share that equipment and to receive professional development on it. But how we bring industry in with that is industry is our experts to tell us what is the equipment students should be able to train on, right?
Sure.
And sometimes industry even comes in and says, I'd love to train the teachers on how to use this equipment. So that's another way industry is able to get involved through that sector convener.
Well, Jess, we could probably go on for another hour about this. Unfortunately, we are limited on time, but this is just another great way to get our business community involved in knowing, and our businesses in knowing what we're trying to do to help kind of mitigate this workforce challenge that we're having in getting qualified workforce. And there are certainly efforts. If you're a business out there and you are interested, please, as Jess mentioned, go on to the Southwest Collaborative website. You are more than welcome to call me. I'm happy to talk to you about it as a local business. And we're just thrilled with the partnership and the knowledge that we've made great strides, but there's still so many great things that are going to happen in the next couple of years. And we will put that information out about May 12th, and hopefully we'll get some Archuleta County business representation out there.
Thank you so much, Mary Jo, for having us on. We're really excited to be engaging in Archuleta County.
Well, we're happy to have it here, and we're going to see an even greater involvement, I know, in the upcoming years. Thank you all so much. Thanks, Jess. We appreciate you coming on with us today. And again, we want to thank Mountain Landing, who is our sponsor today of this show, and thank them for all the work that they've done, not only for Winterfest and providing lodging for our pilots, but also Colorfest. Sue and Jeannie over there, we thank you so much for all that you do for our community, and we appreciate you supporting our event. That everybody's having a great spring break. We know that there's a little rainy today, and certainly around town, some parking challenges. It's spring break, you guys. We need to, it's here. It's what we do. It comes every year, and we really appreciate all our visitors that have, again, chosen to come to Pagosa Springs and spend their time here with their spring break. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. Stay dry and stay safe. Thank you.